What's going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today we're going to talk to you about SoundHound. I want to go over some expectations for this upcoming week, what might cause some volatility in the stock price, and go over everything else that you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So starting off with data points, this upcoming week it is going to be more of a technical driven week because the only data point to really take note of is on Friday. So that's manufacturing data. Forecast right now is 48.5. Anything above 50 shows more of an expansionary stage within the market. Anything below 50 shows more of a contraction. It has been improving. So I think recently, a couple reports ago, it was around 45. So it is improving, moving in the right direction. As I've stated in the past, all the data that's been coming out has been relatively strong. So I think a lot of people will be really watching this very closely. But aside from that, it is just going to be more of a technical driven week. And then, of course, we do have on the 1st, so January 1st, Wednesday, the market is closed in lieu of New Year's. So again, that is what it is. But aside from that, SoundHound seems to be doing its thing. The greater part of the second half of last week, you've seen a kind of a pullback from shorts. So kind of interesting stuff in that regard. So going into this upcoming week, 26.25% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 86.39 million shares. And even on Friday, you did have shorts return 353,000 shares. So normally what has happened with SoundHound, and this is why you've had an increase in volatility, is shorts would double the hell down. First thing, kill any and all momentum, prompt a pullback. So they'd be increasing anywhere from like 8 to 15 million. But Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, you didn't have that happen. And so this is why you had SoundHound kind of generally moving in the right direction. You can kind of see right here as well, just shorts have been returning. So this was the peak on the 23rd. So Monday, 27.45%. So let me know your viewpoint on that. I don't anticipate shorts to do anything extreme this week, aside from, again, if I think SoundHound on a technical standpoint does break above $25, then I can see shorts starting to get back in and doing what they do. But until then, I think it might be the status quo. Near the second half of this upcoming week, you might have some more, I guess, articles and just hype associated to CES. So that's being held between January 7th and 10th. So not this week, the following week, but I think in general that could be a very good catalyst for SoundHound. So you might start to see a lot more chatter associated to that. And as of right now, SoundHound's a very good hybrid stock. So it's a good momentum play, good squeeze stock, as well as an AI play. So for the momentum aspect, I think the speculative catalyst associated to CES might drum up some additional buying. So again, that's something to kind of consider that will be most likely affecting it near the second half of the week. But looking at the options for this upcoming week, you are having a consensus for it to be roughly around that $27 range. So I'm going to go over the technicals in a second. But one thing to note, what this options kind of are telling me is that the fact that you're seeing a lot of volume in pretty much a week by week basis, nothing really further out than that, that goes to show that SoundHound is very much just in momentum mode. So a lot of people aren't really investing in SoundHound because of the fundamental business. So this is where if SoundHound was to put out something concrete, a huge catalyst, then that is where you can have the kind of dynamic shift from a momentum stock to actually people investing in it long term. So that's what you typically do see, at least in the short term, options wise. So that's what this is portraying to me. But still, people are anticipating for it to be above $27 by this upcoming week. Bears, though, are anticipating for it to be sub roughly $22 to $20. So even worst case scenario, if it does retrace back down to $20, not the end of the world. SoundHound still has had a lot of good success over the last 6 months alone, up 500%. So I do kind of find like even Reddit and just Twitter very comical. So SoundHound's ran up 500%, but some days it goes down like 5% and whatever, just pull back for whatever reason, and people panic like crazy. It's like the consensus out there that SoundHound is going to go back down to like 10 or $7 is like crazy. So I really hope SoundHound does put out something fundamental towards their operations, just to kind of silence a lot of those individuals. But until that happens, it is what it is. You're going to have a lot of doubters. But as of right now, with it at $23.95, it is trading between these 2 points. So this R2 and this R1. So this 23.67 support, definitely watch for that to hold. If not, then yeah, you could see that $20 range based on options. That's what the bears are anticipating. So just watch for 23.67, at least in the short term. Flip side, $25.45 is going to be the next strong target, and then 28.32. So bulls are anticipating for this 25.45 to be broken and it trade between this range, which would equate to a new 52-week high for SoundHound. So yeah, anything is possible with a momentum play, so things change day by day. But as of right now, I think Friday's pullback was just last minute fears and jitters associated to the broader market, nothing really essential to SoundHound itself. And as I said in my video yesterday or Friday or whatever, that SoundHound didn't do all that bad. You have, just looking at a lot of my watch list, you had Lucid, Rivian, a lot of those stocks down significantly. GameStop down 2.3. You had just like Celsius 4%. So all in all, SoundHound didn't do all that bad. No new analyst ratings. I would have anticipated by now that there would have been at least one new rating, possibly. But maybe they're waiting for the new year or possibly for their upcoming earnings, right? That's going to be a very big thing. So as I've stated in the past, what similarly happened with Palantir is that it ran up considerably and then they had their earnings and then they pulled back, only because you had a lot of analysts and just Wall Street say, hey, you're not worth the multiple that you're getting, like you're going to go down. Wall Street always has a very hard time trying to digest new innovative companies. That's why I really like Daniel Ives, and a lot of people do like Daniel Ives because he is able to see past that BS and see what the true value is. So the fact that he gave $22, most likely he's going to up it because in my experience, especially with Palantir, he definitely does like to be the poster boy, if that kind of makes sense. So most likely you'll see a re-rate probably in the new year associated to him. But aside from that, going into this upcoming week on the technical standpoint, it did close above the ALMA on Friday, so definitely a good sign. Plus the stochastic RSI, you see a nice bullish deviation starting to form, plus it is very oversold. So honestly, SoundHound's technicals look a-okay. Couple points to really watch for. If it does pull back on a significant level, watch for 15.29. If it does break below that, then you'll have the algorithms really working against SoundHound. But until that happens, it is what it is. It should be continuing to move higher, and a lot of that recent consolidation is going to help it bigger picture in the coming days. So that's just my viewpoint on SoundHound. So this upcoming week, you could see once again a increase in volatility, possibly touching that 20. So that's going to be a very strong key support as well to watch for. But generally, I do feel that there is more upside. So most likely it'll trade between these two ranges. So this R3 and this R2, unless there is either some good news that does come out or possibly something related to CES. Because as far as us as investors, we know that they have a booth, but I don't think they're doing any full presentations. So there might not be new information that is kind of derived from that. But at the same time, typically when companies are participating in these types of things, they like to put out news just to drive up kind of hype and demand associated to their booth. So again, anticipate some news possibly in the foreseeable future. But let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. Have you been buying? Have you been selling? Where do you see things going in the short term? So throw your price predictions in the description below. Hopefully everyone's having an amazing weekend thus far. And then one final thing I just wanted to share with you. I did launch a Patreon roughly around a month and a half ago where I give buy signals on stocks, options, and crypto. Many of them have been absolute bangers. So definitely pop over there and take a look. With that said, appreciate all of you watching.